They say money makes the world go round. But what if your own money becomes the very reason your heart keeps breaking? What if I told you that behind this billionaire smile lies a heart that has been bruised, used, and broken by love? What if I told you that this man, Dubim Okonkwo, had everything money could buy, except the one thing money couldn't, true love? This is the gripping and inspiring story of Dubem, a billionaire who got tired of being used, mocked, and deceived by women who only came for his money, not for him. So one day, Dubem disappeared. And what happened next? It shocked everybody. Guys, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Share it to your family and friends. Oh yeah, grab your popcorn, sit, and enjoy yourself. Dubem Okonkwo, known by many as Dubem Odogu Billionaire, was one of the youngest billionaires in Nigeria. His name alone opened doors from real estate to oil and gas, from tech investments to entertainment. The man had built empires. But when it came to love, Dubem was a broken man. Women chased him, praised him, and even worshipped him until they got what they wanted. Once they had access to his wealth, they changed. Some cheated, others mocked him, and a few even tried to blackmail him. One evening, Dubem sat alone in his mansion and whispered and said, I want love, real love, but how do I know who truly loves me? Then he made a dangerous and bold decision. He called a top management company and gave them strict instructions saying, spread the news that I borrowed billions, that I couldn't pay, that my properties, investments, cars, and companies were seized. Let the whole world believe I am now poor. They were shocked and they said, Sir, why? And he responded, because only then will I know the truth. The manager of the company nodded slowly and said, it's risky, but we can make it happen. So they launched the plan, fake news stories, social media trends, a press release from a so called bank claiming Dubem owed billions and his entire empire had been seized. That night, Dubem left Lagos and traveled to his village with nothing but a small bag. He wore simple clothes. No one recognized him as the former billionaire. He got to his parents' house, an old bungalow in the heart of the village. He told them, saying, Papa, Mama, I don't lose everything, my company, house, cars, even my name. They were shocked and surprised. His father, Pa Augustine, shouted and said, Chineke mo, what happened? And he responded, bad business, Papa. Bank collected everything. Na so life be. They believed him. Even his mother wept uncontrollably, nearly fainted. But they didn't know it was all a plan. Early the next morning, Dubem followed Papa and Kelechi, his younger brother, to the farm. He carried cutlass, fetched firewood, and helped weed cassava. From that day, Dubem became a different man. He started doing laborer work, helping bricklayers, lifting blocks, pushing wheelbarrow at building sites, carrying loads for market women. People that once envied him now mocked him openly and said, see as the mighty has fallen. Billionaire, where they fly private jets, now push wheelbarrow. Hey! And how did the villagers react? They mocked him too. They said, so this is what Money Miss Road looks like? Oga don chop all his money. Now he won't come suffer for village. Even some ladies who used to dream of him now insulted him openly, saying, poor man, he can't even afford biscuits. People he once helped now avoided him. In church, they shifted away from him. He greeted people, they turned their faces. He offered to help. They said, "No, thank you." But Dubem kept quiet. He watched, he smiled, he endured. One Sunday, as he was leaving church alone, he met a beautiful young maiden named Ephea. Ephea dressed modestly in a simple gown. She greeted him with respect and said, "Good afternoon, sir." He turned, surprised. No one had spoken to him kindly in months. They talked for a while, and she said something that struck him. She said, "I heard about your story. I just want to say, thank God you are alive." Sometimes people lose all they have, but if they still have life, they should thank God. Some people lose everything, including their lives. Dubim was surprised of hearing this, and he said, "You are not mocking me?" Ifeyinwa smiled and said, "Why will I mock a man who is strong enough to return home and start again? You are even stronger than many men I know." Dubem smiled for the first time in months. From that day, Ifeyinwa and Dubem became friends, not romantic friends, just two people who respected each other. Ifeyinwa was from a poor family. Her parents were young farmers. They struggled to eat, but she was industrious. She farmed, she fried akara, she helped elderly people, and she never begged. She told Dubem one day, saying, "Living in the village no mean say person be failure. Some people dey city dey sleep under bridge, but they no wan come back village because of shame. But you came back. That means you have a good heart." As time passed, Dubem watched how rich men from the city always came home to chase Ifeyinwa. They promised her money, trips, and a better life, but she refused them all. He finally asked her one day and said, "Why do you always say no to them?" She replied and said, "I don't like proud men. Material things no dey move me. Na joy I dey find. If a man lives in the village but values me, na that one I go follow." Dubem was shocked. This was the kind of woman he had prayed for. They continued their relationship. She cooked and brought food to him. She fetched water for him. Sometimes she even gave Dubem small money to buy recharge card and stood by him like a sister. Later 5 months of their relationship, and on the 11th month of Dubemo's stay, one quiet evening, as they both sat under the mango tree near Ifeyinwa's family compound, Dubem opened up and said, "Ifeyinwa, I have been in love with you for a while now, but I feared saying it because I didn't want to destroy our friendship." Ifeyinwa looked at him and smiled and replied and said, "I feel the same way too." That night, Dubem couldn't sleep. It felt like the first honest love of his life. And just like that, love grew deeper. They informed their families. Though many mocked Ifeyinwa for choosing a broke man, she didn't care. They had a small traditional marriage with the help of both families. People whispered and said, "She's such a fool. She left city men to marry a nobody." But Ifeyinwa stood her ground. One of her friends mocked her and said, "So Ifeyinwa, you won't marry poor man, billionaire turned carpenter. Now that kind person you want to marry?" And her cousin too said to her, "You no get sense at all. That kind man no fit help your future. Poor man, now you want to marry." But Ifeyinwa didn't mind them. Their small traditional wedding happened under a canopy with nothing flashy, no musician, no big food, but the love was real. Just a few days to Christmas and the end of Dubemu's 1 year plan, he called Ifeyinwa and said, "One of my friends just returned from America and wants to help me. I need to travel to Lagos for 2 weeks. And Ifeyinwa said, "Oh, I go miss you, but go, no wahala." She hugged him and prayed for him, saying, "Even if you don't make it, I will still be here when you return." That trip changed everything. On getting to Lagos, Dubem met with the managing company, settled everything, signed documents, and reactivated all his assets. He shaved, dressed in agbada and luxury slippers, and returned in a G-Wagon with escorts in a convoy. After 2 weeks, when he entered the village, people ran out, confused, shocked. His own parents screamed and said, "Dubem, Dubemo, is this you? What's going on?" Ifeyinwa almost fainted and she said, "Who owns all this, Dubem? What's happening?" Dubem held her hands and said, "My love, my queen, it's time to tell you and everyone the truth." That night, Dubem gathered both families and explained everything: the fake bankruptcy, the test, the pain, the reason. And he said, "I just wanted to know who truly loved me, not for what I have, but for who I am." Everyone was in tears. As Dubem finished speaking, Ifeyinwa broke down in tears. She was overwhelmed, not because her husband was secretly rich, but because he chose her, a poor village girl, when he could have had anyone else. Dubem smiled, held her close, and whispered and said, "Ifeyinwa, na your pure heart give me hope say true love still dey dis world. I no marry you because you fine. I marry you because you get good spirit, and now na me and you forever." Everyone clapped and praised her. His parents, who were also in shock, cried tears of joy. His mother hugged him and said, "Dobem, my son. So now this kind heavy secret where you dey carry since. God bless you for this wise decision. You go live long, my son." Dubem took Ifeyinwa to the city. Within a few months, he organized a grand wedding attended by governors, celebrities, and billionaires. The same people that mocked Ifeyinwa now rushed to take selfies with her. She wore a diamond-studded wedding gown. The event was aired on African Magic and Channels TV. And then Dubem did something greater. Just 1 month after their elaborate city wedding, Dubem returned to the village with bulldozers, engineers, and trucks. He rebuilt his father's old house into a duplex with solar panels, borehole water, and tiled floors. "Papa, Mama, this is for you. Thank you for standing by me," he told them. Then he shocked everyone by crossing over to Ifeyinwa's family compound. He built them an even bigger mansion and bought her father a Highlander SUV and said, "Daddy, Mommy, you raised a queen." He sponsored Ifeyinwa's younger brother to study abroad and opened a farming cooperative to help local families. Dubem opened a multi-million naira boutique for Ifeyinwa and gave her the 2025 Range Rover Sport. People now said, "Ifeyinwa is blessed. She married a billionaire without knowing it." But she always replied them, "I married a good man. Money came later." And together they lived happily ever after. Dubim and Ifeyinwa launched a charity foundation for empowering young couples with business grants, supporting young girls from poor backgrounds, teaching people the value of character over wealth. They called it Love Beyond Gold Foundation, and the logo, a simple heart growing from cracked soil. 2 years later, Dubim and Ifeyinwa returned to the village with their twin babies, a boy and a girl. The entire village gathered to celebrate. Drummers, dancers, and masquerades filled the square. People chanted and said, "True love dey o, na patience be the key." Dubim raised his children in the air and said, "This is the reward for trusting God and not giving up." Thank you for watching. This is where our story ends. But before we end it, let's look into our moral lessons. True love is not found in riches, but in the heart that's willing to give without expecting anything in return. Never look down on anyone because of their present situation. Life can change in a second. Kindness, humility, and loyalty will always open doors that money cannot. Those who wait on God and work with patience will never be ashamed. In conclusion, Dubem didn't wear designer clothes. He didn't drive a flashy car. In fact, he came into Ifeyinwa's life with nothing but kindness, humility, and truth in his heart. And even though the world mocked him, she chose love over luxury, dignity over dollars, and character over currency. She was mocked by her sisters, insulted by her village, but in the end, she was the one chose to be the queen of his empire. Thank you for watching this heart-touching story. If this video moved you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with someone who believes in true love, and subscribe for more life-changing African stories. New stories drop every week, filled with drama, redemption, and deep lessons from our culture and everyday life. Don't forget to leave your comments, your question, or even your suggestion in the comment section, and we will come back to deal with it. Help us to share this story with your family and friends. Like it, okay? And touch the bell button so that next time we put out video, you will be the first to see it, okay? Until next time, remember, sometimes what you see on the outside is just a disguise, but what's hidden within can be a treasure beyond gold. This is Olu Beauty African Folktales channel, telling real stories that touch real hearts. God bless you. Love you all. Bye bye. Mwah.